All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today at the Nacho Show. Us conservatives believe in limited government, personal responsibility, free markets, and a strong national defense. We also believe in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, including the is here at the Nacho Show. I don't know what's going on. All right. Well, looks like the system is failing, but we'll go ahead and get the show started. I don't know, man. It looks like we're having some technical difficulties here with StreamYard. I definitely am going to send them an email and see what's going on. But hey, thank you so much for being at the Nacho Show today. And before we move forward with the rest, I want to let you know that this November 11 and 12, no, sorry, November 12 and 13, we have something that is called the Red Pill Expo. Just to make sure that you go to redpillexpo.com in order for you to be able to buy tickets. And if you are doing so, don't forget to add the code Nacho in order for you to buy discounted tickets. I think it's like 10% discount. So yeah, remember redpillexpo.com. This November 12 and 13 in Salt Lake City. It's going to be fantastic. There will be a lot of speakers there. And I don't know if you guys remember this book called The Creature of Jackal Island. The actual writer of this book will be there. He's the organizer of this Red Pill Expo. And he has invited a lot of speakers for you guys to enjoy. Just don't forget redpillexpo.com November 12 and 13. And don't forget to use the coupon code NACHO for a discounted ticket. I'm just going to leave that here running. And today we have a very special guest with us. His name is Kish North. How are you today, Kish?
Fantastic, Nacho. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. Well, it looks like you have moved up the ranks of your family, so I salute you for that.
Thank you, sir.
That is fantastic. And I want to let you guys know that Kish North, he is, and maybe you can clear that up for me. He is in charge of an organization called Utah Patriots. And you guys can also find them on my website. I added the Utah Patriots as partners. We are in partnership to defend freedom of speech and freedom, here in America. And it is definitely a pleasure to partner up with them. So yeah, Kish, let's go ahead and hear more about Utah Patriots. What is it that you guys do, and when did you start this awesome organization? Though.
Well, great. I appreciate the opportunity to come on here. Many people know the story, but it kind of organically grew when Black Lives Matter and Antifa came out several years back, almost 3 years now. They came out in force to loot, riot, and steal and hurt people. Those are facts, right? Because we've seen it away from Portland all the way to Minnesota. It continues today. We went out. When I say we, I think just Utahns went out in general. A lot of people sprouted up, right? A lot of groups came out, a lot of people came out, a lot of ex-military guys came out, just people that liked their city and their state. And what happened, it kind of organically grew from that when, I mean, you've got UCA that got involved, and they grew quite quickly. Just people like that grew. We went out, and I decided to just start after Ken Dudley got shot in Provo. Black Lives
Mm-hmm.
Matter shot him through his vehicle, and we just kind of got going and suited and booted and went out and forced with a lot of people to help protect buildings, stand in unity with our police, our men and women in blue.
Uh-huh.
And, we actually have more power to defend our community than the police department, believe it or not.
Wow.
We found that happen when we learn more about the mayor in Salt Lake City, Mendenhall, and how she shackled and hogties the men and women in blue, and won't let them police the community. And we heard it from them on the ground. The police department was like, hey, we've been in situations where the police looked at BLM and said, hey, BLM says, have you had enough? And the cops say, well, we haven't had enough, but they might have. So you could deal with those guys, basically, right? So,
Wow. Cool.
yeah, because Mendenhall, and I could talk for hours, but the average lawsuit that came in downtown Salt Lake, and don't quote me exactly, but it was in the millions with double digits, meaning 10 million plus. The average lawsuit that is filed against a police department, against Black Lives Matter or someone like that claims that it was mishandled or something, is over $10 million.
Dang.
So that can bankrupt the community pretty quickly, right? So all of a sudden, Mendenhall tells the police department to kind of tone it down, things like that. I have been in situations where the police couldn't do anything. They did nothing. When by rights they should have protected themselves. I've seen Black Lives Matter push police officers, spit in their faces, and the officers did nothing.
And what is the reason? Well, in previous episodes, I had a very fine gentleman that you introduced to me. He is running for Salt Lake County sheriff, and he's got great experience. And yeah, we talked a little bit about that. But what is the reason why? What's the reason behind of the police force not really not doing anything as far as defending defending themselves from being spit on and everything like that? Why do you think that would be?
Their boss, over 100 police officers quit. Another 100 plus or minus threatened to quit, and Mayor Mendenhall increased their pay substantially to stay. So she coerced them with money to stay in the community and police. They were about to lose over 200 officers.
Wow.
So, the officers carry, their vests, and they've got their belts, and they've got equipment on their belts to defend themselves. Well, when those items and auxiliary items on a belt start to get removed and you can't use them anymore, you're removing the ability of the police to police.
Uh-huh.
We've had officers move from one community to another. Hypothetically, let's use West Jordan. We've had officers move from West Jordan to Cottonwood Heights because the chief of police in Cottonwood Heights lets police officers police the community. And now I'm not saying they use extra force or anything, but they let them police the community. We see it on a national level, Nacho. We see where they arrest people and they arrest them, they book them. Within hours, they're out again. We're talking people that maim, hurt, murder. I mean, we see this, and they let them out of jail.
Wow.
We see it.
Like
I'm not
catch and release.
You see it, right? So, got a problem with that. The community should have a problem with that.
Wow. And gosh, well, I really, well, that's something that I don't understand. I mean, I don't know what type of agenda they're following. I really don't, because it is a lack of common sense that to see that the police are not doing anything in regards of the violence, in regards of the abuse, and just like you said, that totally makes sense that the police officers have quit their jobs because of the bad handling of these actions of the
Yeah,
police force,
yeah.
and
And I want to be clear. I support our men and women in blue.
of
I don't
course.
blame our men and women in blue. Are there bad apples in the bunch? There's bad apples in every job, every community, every church group. There is. But for the majority of our police officers, they're good people, and they need the support and the love from the community. Uh,
Uh-huh.
the problem is their bosses. And that's where Nick Roberts came in, right? That's where I support Nick. I support what he's doing. I support his goals, his aspirations, what he's trying to do to change the sheriff's department, what it should be, right? There should be a pecking order. We should be able to, as a community, right now, I believe you go to the community and you have a problem with a police department, you have no one to go to. What are you going to go to, Mayor Mendenhall? You can't go to Mayor Mendenhall and complain about a police officer because she backs up the police officers if there's a bad apple. If there's a
Uh-huh.
sheriff's department up and above that, so it goes, I can go complain to the sheriff's department so they can go investigate somebody else. And whether it's a governor
Mm.
or a senator or someone doing fraudulent activities in elections, I've got no one to go to today. The public has no one to go to. The police department's hands are tied. What are they going to do? Go to Mayor Mendenhall again? No, it's not going to happen. Nick Roberts wants to put the sheriff's department back to where they belong, and I support
Mhm.
that. But back to your original question, when Utah Patriots spread it up, we spread it up. We would go out every time. We knew exactly what BLM was doing in Antifa. We had some inside track through some other groups,
Mhm.
UCA and other people, on how the bad actors were playing out. And our goal was to stifle them, to let them know that the community will not let them roam the streets
Mhm.
unfettered, not watched. And that's what we did. And every time they went out, we went out. And
Cool.
did it get hairy sometimes? Sure. But you know what? They knew that we were watching them. Not that the police weren't, but they knew that we could do more than the police could do, not would do, could do. So that's what happened.
Mhm.
Black Lives Matter died down, BLM died down, Antifa's still roaming around. The head of Black Lives Matter left. Forget her name. I'm glad I forget her name anyway.
Yeah.
She left the community. And what happened was we weren't going anywhere. My wife and I sat down and really, yeah, I came up with UtahPatriots.com and I kind
Mhm.
of manage all the events, but it's made up of good people.
Of course.
Anyone can be a Utah Patriot. There's no membership involved. There's nothing like that. It's just when we do events, we go under UtahPatriots.com. We go do it. Got a website. That's what we do.
Mhm.
So now we've done fundraisers for the police department when the police got shot down in Salt Lake City. I mean, we do barbecues. We do fundraisers for Jen and Sophie that are doing election integrity.
Mhm. Yeah.
We've done events. We're on our third annual canned food drive for the Calvary Chapel at Christmas time. I mean, the list goes on of the things we do. We just want to be active in the community. We just want to help the community. That's what
Mhm.
we're doing now.
That's awesome. So I have another quick question for you. And I don't know, and I don't know, and I don't think I remember very well. When the Antifa and Black Lives Matter, well, the BLM riots were going on. Um, it is my understanding, and you can maybe clarify this for me. I think there was a militia type of group. I don't know if it was with Utah Patriots or Because I remember, and I was part of that group. I think it was a Utah Defense something. I don't remember.
Well, let me clarify something. The word militia,
Uh-huh.
that's thrown around very loosely.
Okay.
If you look up a militia in the state of Utah, you've got to go by specific guidelines and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
I run what is called Utah Patriots Rapid Response Team.
Oh, okay.
It's not a militia.
Okay. All right.
You've got UCA. They're not a militia.
Okay.
There's, I believe, one in Utah that I know called CMU. They're a registered militia group,
Uh-huh.
registered with the state of Utah. Good people. I believe the caveat is with a militia, you can't be politically driven at all. You can't publicize your political views and whatnot.
Uh-huh.
I'm very much make America great again.
Of course.
Support Donald Trump. I mean, so we're not a militia. We don't go doing that. We do multiple facets, multi-pronged approach, right? But we do have a
Uh-huh.
rapid response team. We do training monthly. We do tactical training. We also do food storage training, right? We
Oh,
teach
cool.
people how to do food storage and be prepping that way and stuff like that. All different things. I'll give you an example. The fire broke out in Tooele a couple months back. It's a massive fire. The rapid response team got together. We've got some guys in Tooele, and Sam Owens got involved and said, "Hey, I live out here. Let's get some food ready." So we immediately put out to our base group of Utah Patriots,
Mm-hmm.
and people donated food. They donated water, and within hours, went to church that Sunday. The church came together. Some of the men in the men's quorum showed up on Sunday morning. We got 60 plus cases of water.
Wow.
We got 25 pizzas, and we drove down. Sam got in touch with the fire chief. We met them specifically, took all that to them, and took care of the guys and the girls on the ground in the helicopters, right? Now, I don't tell you that to brag. I tell you, you ask what we do.
Yeah.
We want to be
Of
ready for
course.
this stuff, right? Because sometimes the community and our public community, our government community, is slow to respond, right? We've seen that for
Mhm.
decades, right?
Yeah.
They're very slow to
Agree.
respond. You've got great efforts in local churches here, multiple churches that reach out. So that's what we do, and that's what we're available for. Want to try to be here, and that's what we're trying to
Mhm.
grow into. It's small. We vet people in the response team because I want to be sure that if I happen to respond to an event, a
Mhm.
riot, or I respond to
Right.
natural disaster, that people have my back. I know who I'm working with. It's just not
Uh-huh.
for everybody, right?
So I have a quick question for you. So in the case of a riot, because as I was mentioning before in the previous episode with the candidate for sheriff, that moment that I saw the riot in Salt Lake City, I was pissed. I was very, very mad, and I was about to just leave my family here at home and headed down to Salt Lake City and stand up to those fools.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do, but I was like, I mean, like, who's it going to be? Just myself. I mean, I don't know who else would come with me, or to try to stop this. And I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to do in that moment. So in cases of riots, is that something that you guys would respond to if something like that arises?
Um, I'm hesitating because I want to be careful of my language.
Of course, of course.
Let me word it this way. I want to protect my family,
Hmm.
and I want to protect my neighbors. And I consider any patriot person that loves America, loves their
Hmm.
country and their community, that I would protect them. Hence, why do people uphold the Second Amendment and carry daily, right?
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
not only for their safety, it's for the public safety, right? That's the great thing about Utah with the Second Amendment, right? That's the great thing.
Hmm.
People can legally carry to protect themselves and the community.
Hmm.
Um, will I let people loot, burn, and steal? No, I won't. If I'm out there alone, I'm going to go out there, right? That's what
Yeah.
patriotism is. I mean, I will obviously, we do connect with all law enforcement on the ground. It's not like we're going to be rogue and go in there and do that. Whenever we've gone out there, typically when it's a large publicized event by BLM or Antifa, we're in touch with the local police department or highway patrol or sheriffs or whoever it is. They know who we are. We know who they are, and we do not want to invade their space. We don't step on what they do. We're here as a support role, But BLM had everyone hoodwinked. We know that. Look at what's just come out. The hundreds of millions of dollars that people gave to them, and now the facts come out. Are they buying homes?
Yeah.
Even ugly Hollywood has come out and said, "Oh, what the hell just happened here? What happened here?" Even that's happened. So they had everyone, well, not everyone, but most people fooled. Yeah. And people still follow them blindly. It's a foolish aspiration to think BLM means something. So does White Lives Matter. So does Spanish Lives Matter. So does Israelis. So does Jews. Every life matters. Hence why we're here. Every life matters. There should not be any letters before lives matter. Should be zero. It's everyone's life matters.
Exactly. And I mean, I admire what you guys do, seriously, and please count me in. On anything that, on any efforts, on anything that that you guys are doing, because my perspectives about America are in alignment with yours. I really want to protect this country, and which is what I did. When I was sworn in as a citizen of the United States of America, and it's something that I'm also embarked here. So anyway, well, we'll go ahead and go to a commercial break. Hopefully, I don't run into technical issues like in the beginning. And then we will be right back. And remember, this is the Nacho Show.
As a small business owner, you know that having a website is crucial to your success. But what you may not know is that designing and developing a website can be expensive. That's where Solidify Web comes in. Solidify Web offers affordable website design and development that will produce a website that is clean and tailored to fit your business needs. Plus, we offer search engine optimization services to help you obtain top rankings for your desired search terms, driving qualified leads to your site. Creating a website for your business is one of the most important things you can do in today's economy. Your website is your storefront and first impression for many potential customers. It is crucial that you have a clean, fresh, and well-designed website that represents your business the best way possible. We can create a stunning website for you that is both easy to use and navigate and ranks high in search engines. Contact us today to learn more about how we can help you take your business to the next level.
Nacho Graphics is a professional graphic design company that offers
thank you for being here at the Nacho Show. And we have here my friend Kish North. I changed my hat.
There you go.
Because I wanted to be in tune with yours as well. So
hey, I'll tell you a quick story. So one of my friends gave me jazz tickets for last night. And I don't like the jazz. But it's a game. I took my son and I wore my hat and I wore a cool jacket that I have. And, I get a text message from one of my guys on my team who is a jazz fan and a Utah University fan, right? He says, I just texted him actually first. I said, hey, do you happen to be at the jazz game? He said, yeah. I said, where are you? And he goes, I'm in section such and such. He was above me and I was here. I'm like, oh man. So I look up, he's got the same hat on. The same hat on. He's got "Let's Go Brandon" jacket on. So it was kind of funny. We're both in the audience, 18,000 with 2 red hats on. But to tell you how woke our community is, the military walks in last night with the flag, and the crowd was pretty good. Everyone stood up, but the players from the Houston Rockets and the Jazz, all of them, but one, didn't have their hand over their heart. They stood there, hands behind their back. One team player out of both teams respectfully had his hand over his heart. That's how woke we've become as a community. That's what the Black Lives Matter movement created in 3 years. Mm-hmm. Can you believe that? Disgusting.
Wow, that's very disgusting. And it is part of a plan. I mean, what can I say? It is part of a plan. And I don't know if you have listened to my episodes prior. I had a guest. Her name is Shi Van Fleet, and she is an immigrant from China. And she mentioned that everything that is going on right now in America, the cancel culture, the BLM, the Antifa stuff, everything, it's an exact replica of how Mao Zedong was actually orchestrating everything in order to turn China into communism. And she was there. She came into America when she was like 18 or 20 years old or something like that. And she witnessed everything. And she compares it. Now, I had another guest in previous episodes. He's from Venezuela, and he was mentioning exactly the same thing. So what does this tell you? This definitely is being orchestrated by somebody that is trying to turn the United States of America and into garbage and destroy our culture. You know what? And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, you are married to a Hispanic, obviously. And, I was born and raised in Mexico. I came to America because of the culture. I really love this culture so much. And then when I hear BLM people that America has no culture, I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? America it's a mixture of cultures. I mean, it's mixed into one. And I will defend that culture, with all, with everything I have, to keep that culture. And you and I have something, right here, make America great again. America is still great. However, right now, how things are going is not so great. Our president is really allowing the CCP to infiltrate and really destroying everything that we have. Sorry, you were going to say something.
That you got the CCP, you got the United Nations involved now.
Oh yeah.
And as much as I like Donald Trump as a president, we cannot count on Donald Trump. Donald Trump's one man.
Mm-hmm.
I think what he created, though, was a great movement.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping and praying that this movement will continue, because I think people call us conspiracy theorists, but we've been right. That's the problem. You're no longer a conspiracy theorist if you're right.
Yeah.
Right. Everything that we've been conspiring about is coming about. And America is like frogs in a pot. We've been cooking ever so slowly. And General Flynn was out here a year plus ago. We did security for him when he came in, but he said a quote. He goes, he gave a couple of things, but one was, you have to fight in your own backyard. You can't fight on a federal level. You got to fight in your own backyard. So we're trying to do that. But, this will stop when the people say it stops. That's the only time it'll stop.
Yeah.
Donald Trump says it stops, but he needs the people. We the people. So Donald Trump will come and go.
Yep.
I don't even know he's going to come in again, right? He claims he is, but we can hypothecate all we want whether he's going to back DeSantis or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is the people need to show up. And I think, I really truly in my heart of hearts believes that there will be a war again. There'll be some kind of rising up that'll have to take place. Unfortunately, right now, I could never identify what that is or who it is because there's no face behind the evil. The New World Order, what they want to do, they want to remove all currency, right? We know that.
Mm-hmm.
Last night at the Jazz game, I couldn't pay cash for anything. Nothing.
Really?
Everything's electronic. Everything. So I go to places now and they won't take cash. So currency is all going to be eliminated, is what they're trying to do. Eliminate cash. That way they can control the electronic portion of this. Well, we saw what happened in Canada when Brian Brasi went up and did all those things in Canada and people went and donated money to the truckers. The Canadian government went in and took your money from your bank account.
Wow.
Where's the freedom?
That's incredible.
There's a small portion of us, there really is, that will actually do what we do. And there's more than just me, but there's a lot of Utahns, there's some Utahns, groups that are willing to get out there and go on the front line. But there's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's nowhere near enough. You know, there's not near enough to say no to Governor Cox and Mitt Romney and Henderson and all these miscreants that are doing so much evil in Utah. They're turning Utah into this woke state. That's a problem. And if the people don't get out of their church pews and get out of their comfort zone, it's going to be too late. Part of me thinks it's already too late, right? It's really late. We're late coming to the game. Unless you have, and it's going to interlink here, unless you have a sheriff's department that I can take these complaints and the sheriff's department will then investigate, nothing will get done. It won't. It won't get done. You can do all the fundraisers you want. You can complain all you want. You can go on social media all you want. There's so many keyboard warriors. There's very few people that are willing to go out and fight. Truly stand up and fight.
Right, and that's exactly me having a podcast. It's one of those things that I, as far as I can do, to contribute to the fight. Talk is cheap. You can say that, but I mean, at least I'm trying to persuade my audience to at least to think a little bit more, a little bit different, from what it has been exposed from the media. But I'm just so buried, with my life and what I do and everything like that. That like a podcast is something that I can definitely do.
No, and please don't take that. When I say keyboard warriors, I mean these Facebook and these Instagram people just text away. Yeah, those damn people, they're nuts. And I'm like, really? Well, when's the last time you came to an event? When's the last time you did a podcast like you and trying to influence people? You're an influencer. That's a great thing. But we do events. I mean, the events we try to put together in Utah, crickets. People don't show up. They just don't show up. And that's so disappointing with the time and the effort and the money people put into doing this. Like this Red Pill Expo. I hope it goes over great. But we did an expo. We tried to do expos. They tried to do one this year. Couldn't sell enough tickets. It's cost prohibitive sometimes. And especially now, I mean, that Red Pill, I think I looked at it because they asked me if I wanted to put a booth there, right? Well, I don't make money at this. This is a personal thing. I don't have $500 to put up a booth. Doesn't make any sense to me. Right?
Yeah.
So, and then I do barbecues and do things like that. The only way you get people out is give them free food. That's unfortunate, right?
Yeah, it works.
That's the Utah way, right? Green Jello with some carrots in it, and they'll show up and eat, right? It's hard to get thousands of people to stand up and do this.
Yeah.
Pro-life, when Roe versus Wade got overturned, right? That thing. We did an event. Without exaggeration, there wasn't 250 people. Okay.
Oh, dang.
The protesters outnumbered us 3-1.
Oh, my goodness.
That is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
The Satanic Temple of Salt Lake City has done 2 events downtown Salt Lake, which the security team went to kind of witness and see what was going on. Not hundreds. Over 1,000 people showed up with big black stallions, evil flags. It was incredibly done for an evil function. And you couldn't get 200 people when they overturned something of the magnitude of Roe versus Wade, where millions of our innocent children get killed yearly. Millions, right? We're at 60 million now since this happened in count. And you couldn't get Utah, who is pro-Christian, to show up in force.
Wow.
That shows you what's wrong with Utah. That's the perfect epitome example, Nacho, of what the problem in Utah is. People think all is well in Zion. It's not well in Zion.
Wow. There's so much work to do. A lot of work. I don't know why I was not notified about the satanic event. Next time, please let me know.
There's a Telegram group that I have.
Okay.
There's multiple ones, but one is a very important group, and it's just for posting.
Okay.
Events. I have it, and I have to send it to you. It's an event page.
Okay.
So when I see a flyer on my social media, anywhere in social media, when I see a flyer, Nacho, I post it here, and then it goes on my website. So I'm not telling you this so that I get more people there. It's just a place you subscribe to, and you see events coming up there.
Okay.
And for Utah, there's only 500 people, so I'll have to send it to you later. You can post it up there, but that's what it is. And we are very fractionalized here in Utah. You've got so many groups doing little things, which is wonderful, right? You got some people doing voter integrity. You got some people doing bills and legislative work. You got some people like me that just do events to motivate people to get involved, right? You got all these different fractionalized groups. And it's really hard to put them together because we all have personalities. We all have egos.
Yeah.
And some of the groups are for profit and some people are non-profit, right? Some people do nothing. I've never done it for profit because there's no money in it. We lose money.
Yeah.
But something we love to do as a passionate family is to go out and do these things, right? Like last Friday, we went out there and I'll give you another example. And if you need to cut me off, let me know, Nacho.
No, that's fine.
Nick Roberts, Gowd, On. They're all running. They're all good conservative running people. So I put a posting out to, I don't have a huge following, but 1,700 on Facebook, another 2,000 on Instagram. Hey, who wants to come out and do a honk and flag waving for these 3 candidates? Redwood Road, 104th. Let's be out there. 10 people. Yeah. 10 people. 7 of them were my own guys in my group. The other 3 were just normal people. So it's like, okay, hold on. How serious are you on ushering someone in to take a seat that can help us? How serious are we as Utahns? We're not too serious if 10 people show up at all, in my opinion, right? And you know what people are going to say? Well, I got a job and I work and I got family. I got Johnny's baseball. 100% agree. So do I. So I get it. But out of tens of thousands of people in Salt Lake County that want to get these people in, 10 people show up. That's a tough one to swallow.
Yeah, it's a matter of priorities, and that's what I have experienced lately in my life. It's just a matter of priorities. But one thing that I have seen lately a lot is comfortability. Like people get so comfortable in their zone, in their comfort zone, that they I don't know, you have to really do something magnificent or getting into people's minds in order for them to do something.
Nacho, if a policy doesn't affect your life, you're not going to get involved typically, right?
Yeah.
So guess what happened with Jordan School District this past year, and Utah Patriots got really involved in that with many others. They just increased our taxes, property taxes, 24%. 24%.
Wow. Here we're about the same.
An increase of 24%. What a bunch of miscreants these school board people are. I spoke at that place. I called them out. Do you know the heads of the school board, the head guys? They all make $135,000 a year to $250,000 a year across the board, and they got a 6% increase.
Wow.
So instead of them looking at their paychecks, they just jack everyone else. So the seniors in the community, the people that are in these condos, these seniors, they were there. They're almost in tears. They're like, how are we going to afford this? They didn't care. So because it didn't affect anyone outside of South Jordan School District or Jordan School District, why would they show up? But it's a ripple effect. It affects our school district, then Alpine School District, and then all these other districts. They'll all go, hey, that was pretty easy. We'll just do the next one. So we just got a 24% increase in our taxes. Food just went up easily by 35% from what I'm watching every time I go. Food's gone up 35%. Your pay didn't go up 35%. No one got a 35% increase in pay. If anything, if you're in sales like me or anything like that, you get a decrease in sales. People aren't buying what they used to buy. So your income is going down, the cost is going up. You got a president that's screwing the country and his administrator. And you said what's happening? This is a global effort to tear down the people and to take it over. Communism, socialism is rampant. I know you're a God-fearing man, and I believe there's a higher power that is pushing this agenda. There just is. And it is a spiritual fight as much or more than any other fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's a bigger agenda. And that's the same thing that I thought when the China virus came into our lives back in 2020. I had the big sense of is like, gee, somebody really wants to get rid of people here in the earth, because that virus, it was not natural. I mean, you've seen other viruses out there in the past that there's epidemics and everything. People were trying to figure out what those were. But now with the power of chemistry and engineering, you can create viruses. And obviously when the information comes, and I don't really consider this to be a conspiracy theory. There's a patent for the China virus. It has a patent, and well, you and I know whose name are in the board of that organization that created this virus. So
and it won't be the last virus.
Right.
It won't be the last one. They're already talking. They tried to put out the monkey one, right? And they tried to do
the monkeypox.
polio coming out of the sewers in New York. That came out this year.
Oh,
wow. We're talking about another pathogen that's a huge death rate. I mean, scare tactics, control tactics. You got an election coming up here in 2 weeks. You got another one in 18 months. If you think it was bad, it's going to get worse. They are going to try to hold the people down. And unless we're willing to fight back, you're just going to be like China. You're just going to be a puppet. They want to control your money, your income. They want to tax you to death. They want to do all that. It's going to come to a head. There's no doubt it's going to come to a head. There's no doubt. It's just how many people are going to be there to fight it when the time comes.
Exactly. Right? Wow. Well, gosh, I mean, I really don't know what to say. The only thing that I can possibly say is that we need to protect ourselves. We really need to be more conscious of what is going on. We cannot get too soaked up into the social media posts that we see every day. On the stupid narratives, and fall for that.
I'll give you some insight. Here's what I suggest you do. One, you become I don't care who you pray to, but become more dependent upon the higher power.
Yeah.
That's what I suggest. It doesn't matter what religion, to me, it doesn't. I love, in our group, we've got people from all different faiths. We've got agnostic, we've got Calvary Chapel, we've got EV Free, we've got Mormons, we've got everybody. And they're all good people, right? I think there's good people in all faiths. Let me preface it with that. I think you need to become one with God and get on your hands and knees more often. 2, I think you need to get your food storage. You need to get water. You need to get prepared that way. You need to. We've been in Utah for 50 years. They've been preaching that. 60 years they've been preaching that. There's a reason why. 4, I would learn how to manage and protect your family. Whatever that means to you, so be it. If it means to get a gun, please get specific training for that weapon. If it just means a security system in your house, do that. Those are important things. 5, I would get within a community group. I would make sure you're with a tight-knit community group that is like-minded, that understands what you might believe in. Meaning, if you don't believe that you need to prep, then hang out with those people. I'm all good with that. If you don't need to be prepared and prep, hang out with that community. Get some good insight with that. That's really my counsel for that. And there's stuff coming. There's probably a diesel shortage coming in the next 10 days at least.
Oh, wow.
Fuel shortages. There's stuff going on. Look what Biden is doing to the oil and what's going on. So those 4 or 5 things, I would counsel anyone to do that. Get with some like-minded people. That's what I'd say.
Well, that's definitely fantastic insight on what we should be doing. I definitely am working towards some of those. I definitely am, and I just want to say congratulations to you. And I really appreciate what you have been doing throughout all this time. And you're a true patriot, and I salute you for everything that you've been doing.
Thank you, Nacho. Appreciate you and your followers. And I can be reached through my website at utahpatriots.com. You can go there. It's a way to email me there. If you want to be part of the Telegram group, just let us know. I'll give that information to Nacho. And
awesome.
If you're interested in getting into the rapid response team and learning more about it, you can reach us there. I think I'll leave with this. We need to be prepared, but we need to love God first, love our country, love our family. Those are the orders. That's what we need to do. And we need to not be afraid to show it. That's the key. Don't hide behind a bushel. We know what that quote is in the Bible. Do not hide your light behind a bushel. This is a light. I've had so many people. I wore this last night. Some lady came up and goes, "Thank you so much for not being afraid to show who you are." I have my patriotic flag jacket on and stuff. Don't be afraid. That's the problem. They want us to live in fear.
Yeah.
Don't live in fear, because they got you if you do.
Excellent. Oh, I love that. I love that. Man, you should run for office.
Not yet.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kish. I definitely appreciate that. We will keep working shoulder to shoulder to keep America great and to make America great. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. And remember, this is The Nacho Show, brought to you by our sponsors. And we will see you next time. If the outro